Today we're going to talk about how to lose belly fat as quickly as possible. And this video is for beginners, and I'll show you the basics of how to do it, but there are some very important details you should be aware of. There are 5 vital and practical tips that you won't find in books, and I've discovered these through my years of experience working with so many people. So let me break it down for you. So let me just show you the 5 most important things to focus on so you can be very, very successful. In this video, let's get you started with the most important pointers. What is the goal of starting the ketogenic diet? The goal is to reduce your insulin levels to the lowest possible level. That is a target. You will burn the most fat if your insulin levels are low. You are in full ketosis. Ketosis is a metabolic state in which ketones are produced. Ketones are a byproduct of fat metabolism. As a result, the more ketones you produce, the more fat you'll burn and the faster you'll lose weight around your midsection. Tip number 1, eat salad first. Instead of counting carbs, you can eat carbs that don't need to be tallied. Okay. Leafy green salads are abundant in fiber and have a low insulin response since fiber is the only carbohydrate that has no insulin effect. So salad doesn't have to worry about carbs. I want you to eat more salad. I want you to eat 7 cups of salad daily. It's not hard to do. We use a salad cutter to make the salad easier to eat. So we have this small salad bowl that we trim down to make it easier to eat. Instead of trying to eat all of these carbs, use vegetable carbs like salad. Don't count carbs. You can also add cheese to it. Top with olive oil or vinaigrette. Also, keep your salad dressing to 1 carb or less. Many salad dressings are almost carb-free, but many are also laden with sugar, which may be a hidden issue. Why do we want so much salad? I mean, isn't keto supposed to be low carb? Keto does not prioritize nutrient intake. I constantly encourage the healthy ketosis. Not only do we lower insulin levels, but we also increase nutritional levels, making you healthier overall. Reducing carbohydrate intake has several benefits, but so does eating nutrient-dense foods. That salad is also high in potassium. It is high in magnesium, vitamin C, and other vitamins like vitamin K and folic acid. It is also high in phytonutrients, which are nutrients that go beyond the norm. Vitamins, and trace minerals are necessary, but eating this much salad regularly will prevent keto cramps in your calves. It can help prevent keto tiredness. Keto flu has no insulin resistance, therefore it will assist decrease insulin even more and give you more energy. Also, I always recommend making your salad first. You won't overeat protein if you eat salad first, then protein. I've discovered that many people can't eat that much salad after protein. If you're experiencing problems, eat a salad and supplement with electrolyte powder. Now, I'm not marketing my own electrolyte supplement, but it is the best available. So, the first recommendation is to eat salad first. Tip number 2, protein. A few practical characteristics of protein should be known. First, start with a protein the size of your palm. And if you're big or young, have more. Have less if you're older and have a slower metabolism. Too much protein makes you feel tired and slows ketosis. The same goes for protein, which has the greatest fat. Usually served with lard. Don't get the fattest hamburger you can find if you're planning to make one. If you eat fish, don't become the leanest. Use salmon or sardines. Both have more fat than lean protein. If you're going to eat chicken, eat well. Avoid skinless chicken breast. Do the skin and fat sections of the bird. Why is this so? Protein raises insulin more than fat or fat. Because whey protein is low in fat, it activates insulin quite strongly. That's the kind of protein I avoid. But the objective is to acquire protein with more fat. Pork is much fattier than other meats. If you eat steak, attempt to consume the sauce. Tip number 3, fat. Now, if you're new to keto, you must increase the quantity of fat at each meal. So eating extra nuts may help. I prefer pecans, but any nut would do. Optional macadamia nuts, it's olives. Avocado. Olive oil drenches your salad. You have MS cheap oil. But would all this fat slow down your weight loss? But not always, because the ketogenic diet is not designed to help you lose weight quickly. This is vital. So, if you left, come back now and pay great attention to what I'm about to say. Healthy keto and intermittent fasting must be combined. So, why? In other words, if you check your blood ketones, and the scale runs from 0 to 7, it can go up. But there's got to be a scale, right? You won't get over 1 to 3 if you solely do keto without fasting. Okay? The higher the scale, the more ketosis, the deeper fat burning, and the lower the scale, the less ketosis. That means adding intermittent fasting and possibly exercise to your regimen to get to 4, 5, or 6. But we won't get into that now. We simply want to talk if. So low carb, and fasting work well together. This is the program for you if you want to lose belly fat quickly. We don't want you to be constantly hungry. We don't want you to crave. As such, the initial tactic or recommendation is to add additional fat to your meal to help you start your intermittent fasting habit. Okay, so the first goal is to forego breakfast. To go as long as feasible. Then have your first meal about 12 p.m., and your second meal around 6 p.m., gradually squeezing the two meals together. For some, skipping lunch is preferable to focusing only on evening. So you only eat one meal every day. You'll be incredibly satiated after eating this meal's fat. Okay? You won't be hungry for 2 to 3 days. You'll feel nauseated. Why? You'll be able to fast longer and be more in ketosis. That is, your body will start burning its own fat, which many individuals find strange. But here's the kicker. Eat just if you're hungry. So many people make mistakes because they're robotic. Despite being on a low-carb diet and eating when they are not hungry, they are not losing weight. Mistake. Not hungry? Don't eat. Why sabotage your fat-burning efforts? You're here. When you eventually stop eating carbs, your body starts burning fat. And it's working because you're eating even when you're not eating. That meal knocked you out of ketosis, so you'll be hungry later. Eating releases insulin, and high insulin levels hinder the body from entering ketosis. This is why we fast intermittently and follow this rule. So, as soon as you start burning your own fat and lose your hunger, you start cutting your fat during the following meal. Extra nuts, no tea oil. Why would we want to do this? Because, especially if you have a slow metabolism. If the body must choose between food fat and its own fat, it will choose the former. And we're trying to get you to lose belly fat. So, in the middle of this strategy, at the start of ketosis, don't go crazy with fat. We'd like to boost your fat at the end of this cycle, when you've attained your target, but not in the midst, when you're only burning fat and have lost your appetite and cravings. It's everything going well. Using a lot of fat is unnecessary. Normally, protein comes alongside fat. Avoid going low fat, but don't start packing on the fat unless you're performing intermittent fasting or ketosis. Because you won't be eating 3 meals and snacks, it's vital that you get all the nutrients you need. So getting your nutrients is a little more challenging if you eat 2 meals or 1. Tip number 4. The fact is that you're in ketosis means that you'll be burning a variety of nutrients. Certain nutrient requirements will be higher than they were previously. As a result, you'll require more B vitamins and electrolytes. Nutritional yeast is a good source of B vitamins, and I'm not saying you should eat my nutritional yeast. You can use any type of nutritional yeast you want. Just make sure it isn't fortified with artificial vitamins. However, B vitamins are extremely important. Electrolytes are critical, and sea salt is critical if you aren't consuming extra sea salt. What will happen is that you will feel weak. Make note of this and begin adding more sea salt to your diet. If you eat a large salad at that meal, your need for electrolytes will be reduced because you'll be getting potassium, magnesium, and other minerals as well. Okay, fine. Number 5, we want to make this a way of life. We want you to have a good time. Because your cognitive function will improve, your energy will improve as well. Your mood will improve, and your belly will shrink, which will make you happy. You'll feel better soon. However, many people miss these types of pleasure foods. So there are a couple of things that I include after a meal that you might want to include as well. One of them is a low-carb chocolate. You're capable of making Lily's chocolate. There are a variety of low-carb chocolate products available to you. But I only eat a small amount of chocolate after my first meal, not a whole bar. I think I have half a bar. It's actually quite enjoyable. You can also do the following. Not every meal, but maybe a few times a week, make some really cool keto desserts and have one at the end of the meal. It's very, very pleasurable, very enjoyable, and I'll put a link to those recipes down below. That way, you can look forward to a healthier version of a dessert. So, at this point, if you do these basic things, these 5 things, you'll see some significant results, but you'll still have questions. And I have a lot of videos on the topics you're interested in, but I don't want you to get bogged down in the details and get lost in the woods. I want you to keep it simple and to jump right in without having to learn the entire book of details. In fact, I recommend that you begin right away while the idea is still fresh in your mind. So, if you have any questions, just do a search. I have a video for every single question you've asked, but there are 2 more things I'd like to bring up. If something is working, leave it alone. So many people go along, getting great results, and then change something. Why did you make a change? It was functioning properly. Simply keep going. On the other hand, if something isn't working, it's time to make a change. And I have a lot of videos on Plateau for that information, and I'll put some links down below. You can save them and watch them later when you need them. And the final, and probably most important, point is that you don't lose weight to get healthy. To lose weight, you must first improve your health. First and foremost, get healthy. Then comes the weight loss. And that is what we are attempting to emphasize in the healthy version of ketosis.